legislation introduced in Congress could mean big things for student loan payments. North Carolina Senator Richard Burr, along with 4 other Republicans, introduced the Stop Reckless Student Loan Actions Act yesterday. Let's take a look. Congress has not released the actual text of the bill just yet, but a release from the senators say the bill would end the president's ability to unilaterally extend the payment pause. It also says the bill prohibits the president from canceling student loan debt because of an emergency. Senator Burr released a statement on the bill. He said, in part, the Biden administration continues to call for a return to normalcy from the pandemic while simultaneously extending emergency relief programs like the student loan repayment freeze. They can't have it both ways. Now, one reason Republicans want payments to pick back up, the pause has cost the federal government a lot of money. The Department of Education says it cost about $95 billion for the first 2 years. The senators say the pause will add more than $20 billion to the deficit between now and September. The Department of Education's fiscal report says it costs taxpayers about $5 billion per month to extend the payment freeze. Now, the senators also worry that the debt cancellation and relief efforts don't benefit enough working class people. A study from the Nonprofit Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget found people with doctorates and medical degrees received the most forgiveness from the pause. It found the average medical graduate gets $50,000 of cancellation. People with bachelors can only expect $4,500. Now, on the other side of the aisle, President Biden and key Democratic lawmakers disagree on the necessary action to take next. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he thinks a deal canceling up to $50 grand of debt per borrower could come soon. The president said today he does not support that.
I am considering dealing with some debt reduction. I am not considering $50,000 debt reduction, but I'm in the process of taking a hard look at whether or not there will be additional debt forgiveness.
One Democratic lawmaker said anything less than 50 grand just is not acceptable.
It was not a number that was randomly chosen. We looked very carefully at the data, and it's the one that will help the most people and provide the most equality to folks all across this country.
Early voting for the May election begins today. The primaries determine who will run for congressional seats this November. A CBS News analyst thinks any additional action from the White House will come with midterms in mind.
It's always difficult to get younger voters to turn out, but especially in a midterm election because it's not the kind of big pomp and circumstance of a presidential election. It's always harder to turn out younger voters for a midterm. So this is the kind of thing that Democrats have been pushing the Biden administration to do so that they can come out and campaign on, look what we were able to accomplish.
Well, the White House hasn't released a timeline for what could come next. Some Democratic lawmakers keep pressuring President Biden to take action on student loan debt. It's unclear if he actually has the power to do so. The Higher Education Act gives the Education Secretary power to enact changes on student debt. Of course, that person works for the president, so Biden could just direct Secretary Cardona to cancel debt. It's not clear, though, if the president can take action on his own. That would likely need to be settled in court. Well, action on debt cancellation has a lot of people split. Some say it's a boost needed for millions of Americans. Others say they shouldn't need to pay the bill for someone else's education. Many of you weighed in on our Facebook page. Gail says she understands why some think it's unfair, but she supports debt relief. She thinks it gives people a better chance to get ahead. Darnell says he agrees with the action from the White House so far. Mark called canceling debt ridiculous. If someone borrows money, they should pay it back. And Daniel called it unfair and a slap in the face. The future of student loan payments remains unclear. For now, borrowers face a decision. They can start paying now, or they can wait and see what happens, hoping for more debt cancellation. Kayla Albert, for instance, is one of the millions in North Carolina with loans to pay off. She says the loan payment pause has helped her a lot.
I wasn't sure, where my car payment and student loan payments were going to come from. So having that forgiveness really helped give peace of mind. I'm in a spot now where, I can make the payment, but I'm grateful for it because I'm able to continue to use this time to my advantage and pay other things down and put myself in a better spot financially.
She says she cut down her student loan debt by a few $1,000s. Financial experts say you don't have to be like Kayla and make payments now. They say you should be making a plan, though. CBS's Michael George spoke with experts to help you prepare for whatever happens next.
22-year-old Brendan Rooks recently started his career in public service with his student debt waiting in the wings.
I currently have just over $10,000 of student debt.
More than 36 million people have not had to pay their loans since March 2020, totaling about $195 billion so far. The Student Debt Crisis Center and Savvy surveyed more than 23,000 borrowers and found 92% of those now fully employed are concerned about making their loan payments.
1/3 of those borrowers told us that in preparation of payments resuming in May, they are skimping out on basic needs like food, rent, and healthcare.
And many are calling for loan forgiveness.
I think we can all agree, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, that the student loan system is broken.
Experts say borrowers should use this time to plan ahead and have a strategy when the bills start coming. Update your contact information, sign up for autopay, research repayment plans, and consider income-driven repayment.
While it's this very strong labor market, some people maybe are not making as much money. Maybe there's an income-driven repayment plan that's in your future.
Rooks is planning to attend graduate school in the fall, where he already knows he'll incur more debt.
Well, financial experts suggest students limit borrowing to the amount of their anticipated first-year salary. And for parents, they should borrow an amount equal to their household income for each child. Now, people who qualify for student debt relief should get a letter in the mail. You need to watch out, though, because not every letter is legit. It could be a scammer trying to trick you. Beware of robocalls as well. Remember the rule of thumb. If this all sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
If you are going to do some type of loan forgiveness program, you actually, as a student, has to initiate that yourself. No one's going to call you and say, we're going to forgive your student loans.
Well, hang up right away if you get one of those robocalls that offers all the things to you. Call your school's financial aid office or whoever you get your loans from and verify with them if the offer is legit. Well, for now, millions of borrowers have to just kind of wait and see what happens next. The White House says any new action on student debt will come before the freeze expires. That means it could still take months before anything happens. WFMY News 2 at 6 is next.